My abusive mother beat me for years and made me homeless, then laughed when I told her about my struggles, so I systematically destroyed every part of her life and she still doesn't know it was me. The hitting started when I was 4. The kicking started at 6. The locking me in the basement started at 9 after my father left. By the time I was 16, I had stopped flinching. The night before my senior year of high school, my mother shoved me out the front door in my pajamas and threw a trash bag of my clothes onto the lawn behind me. She told the neighbors I had run away because I was on drugs. I finished high school sleeping on the couches of 3 different families and the floor of a girl's restroom at a 24-hour diner. I worked 2 jobs and put myself through community college. I transferred to a 4-year school on a partial scholarship and finished with honors in accounting. When I was 26 and finally stable, I went back to her house. I had not seen her in 9 years. I sat at her dining table and told her, calmly, what those years had cost me. The medical bills, the therapy, the fact that I still slept with the light on at night. She listened, sipping her tea. When I finished, she laughed, not a small laugh, a long one. She said, "You always were dramatic. You should write all that down. You could sell it." She said, "Do you want sympathy or something? You turned out fine." She offered me a slice of pie. I drove home that night and did not cry. I started a notebook. I wrote down every name I could remember from her life. Her boyfriend Garth, who she had been with for 6 years. Her best friend Lucinda, who managed the local chamber of commerce. Her boss at the medical billing company she had worked at for 2 decades. The pastor at her church. The PTA president from when I was a kid. I started small. I requested public records for her business. She ran a side LLC, renting out a property she had inherited from her own mother. And I learned she had been filing it as her primary residence for the homestead tax exemption while renting it to a young family for cash. I sent an anonymous letter with the documentation to the county tax assessor. She lost the exemption, was back billed 9 years of taxes plus penalties, and the tenants found out and moved out within a month. That was year 1. In year 2, I learned she had been double billing 2 of her clients at the medical billing company. I knew this because I created a fake patient account and watched it run through her system over 6 months. I printed out the duplicate claims, the timestamps, and the payments, and sent the file anonymously to the company's compliance officer. She was fired, and the company turned the evidence over to the state insurance regulator. She lost her certification permanently. She blamed everyone but herself. In year 3, I sent her boyfriend Garth a folder. It contained photos and dated emails from her affair with the pastor at her church, which had been ongoing for 4 years. I had pulled the emails from the pastor's wife, who I had befriended on a women's faith forum under another name. The pastor's wife had been collecting them for months and did not know what to do with them. I told her she should send them to her husband's elders, and I helped her draft the letter. Garth left within a week. The pastor's wife confronted him in front of the congregation that Sunday. My mother lost both men and the church in the same 9 days. In year 4, I tipped off Lucinda at the Chamber of Commerce that my mother had been telling people Lucinda's husband had a drinking problem. It was not true, and Lucinda knew it. The friendship ended publicly at a chamber luncheon, with my mother standing by the dessert table while no one would look at her. By year 5, my mother had no one left to call. She did not know I had done any of it. She blamed Garth, the pastor, the company, the county, the tenants. She blamed Lucinda. She called me twice in those 5 years. Once to tell me her life was falling apart and to ask if I would help her, and once to tell me she had lost her apartment and needed a place to live. I told her I was sorry. I told her I was in a different state now. I told her I would call her back. I never did. She lives in a 1-bedroom unit and works the register at a chain pharmacy 2 towns over. She tells the customers her daughter ruined her life by refusing to come home. She is right.